Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Students of grade 4. Today, inshallah, we'll discuss together the lesson number 3 in our concept 1 in unit 2.
Mr.
And lesson 4 also stopping motion. Stopping motion. We continue talking about force and motion. Okay. Did you see before a car accident?
Yes.
What happened in the car accident? When a car is coming very fast, then it make a clash or it hit another car, or make a clash with a wall or with a building or with a pillar, street pillar or something like this. The car suddenly stops after being moving in a very high speed. And there is another force faces the car. Okay, the speed of the car is moving by very high speed. The car is moving in a very high speed in a certain direction. And this is the force by the force of engine. The car engine or the car motor move in a very high speed. Okay, Amjad, we are recording Amjad, okay? We are recording Amjad. So, when the car is moving in a very high speed, the car now is moving by the force of what? What force? The force of the motor. The motion force of the motor or the engine. The car engine has a very strong motion, a moving force. Is it push or pull? Push. Very good. It is a pushing force of the motor. Okay? The car is moving by a very high speed. Okay? And when it stops, what happened when it clashed with another car or clashed with a wall? It stops suddenly. Because it faces another pushing force. Another pushing force. The pushing force of another car. The pushing force of another car, or the pushing force of the wall. Also, the wall has a pushing force. If you push the wall, and also the wall pushing you back. You know, if you are pushing the wall now, Adam, try to push the wall. Can he move the wall? No, because the wall also push. You push and the wall push, but he has stronger pushing force. He has a stronger pushing force. When you are sitting on the chair, your weight has a pushing force downward. Your weight has a pushing force downward because the gravity pull you down. The gravity pull you down. And your chair has a pushing force upward. Your chair has a pushing force upward. So you remain static in your place. Why? Because two equal forces act on your body. Two opposite and equal forces act on your body. So it is a balancing force. So you stay in your place because the two forces act on your body, and the two forces are equal and balanced or unbalanced. Balance. Very good. So when the car make an accident, and clash with a wall or clash with another car, the other car make another force in the opposite direction, or the wall make another force in the opposite direction. So the car stop suddenly. The car stop suddenly. When the car clash or make a crash with the wall, it stop suddenly. Stop suddenly. Okay? Why? Because the wall act by another force. The wall has a force. The wall has a force, but
Yeah.
a force in opposite direction. So the car stops suddenly because the forces now are balanced. There is no motion because the forces are balanced. Okay? Okay. Type. Okay, Shabab. Type. So the car stopped moving suddenly due to another force which crush applied by the wall or by the other car. When someone out, don't ask me to go out. You want to explain it again? Can you explain it? Okay. Our friend Malik will explain it again, ya shabab. Listen to Malik. Listen to your friend Malik. Will explain it again. Malik understand it, and he will explain it again. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Malik, are you ready to explain for your friends?
No, I'm not.
Malik now will explain it for you, ya shabab. Listen to Malik. What happened when the car crashed with the wall or with another car? Why does it stop suddenly? Explain to your friends. The wall has what? Has a force. The wall has a pushing force, but in opposite a direction. The wall has another force in opposite a direction. Very good. So, yeah. Because when you crash with the wall acts with another force in opposite direction. The wall acts with another force in opposite a direction, and now the forces are equal. It is a balanced force, so your body A stop and the car A stop A suddenly. Yes. Now come here with the chair here. Come here. Come with the chair. Show your friend. Push the chair now. Push it now. Now the force. Okay, push again. Push. Sit down. Sit down. And there is a pushing force, and the force is balanced or unbalanced. When you move the chair, your force push the chair, and it is unbalanced force. So the chair is moving. The chair is moving. But when you push the wall push you by the same in the opposite direction with another force, so you cannot move the wall.
I want to say something. Is this all unbalanced force in one direction?
Okay. Okay, thank you, man.
I can't move it because they're all balanced forces. But if I get the all more people and we all push that this will very well push it because this different material one push it this unbalanced force.
Yeah, thank you, man. You are excellent, man. Thank you very much. Right. Now we need to talk about the friction. Talk about the friction force. The friction force.
We know the friction.
We are talking about friction force. It is a force always with the motion. The friction always happens with the motion. Any moving object make a friction force. Okay? When you move the chair, bring the chair here. Malik, bring the chair here again. Bring the chair here again. Let's stop. Adam, come here. Push the chair. You push the chair on the ground. I need to listen to the voice. Pull it again back, forward. Yeah, again, push it again. I want to see it. Now push it again in this direction. Can you hear this voice? The chair make a voice. Why the chair make a voice? Madam P. Why does the chair make a voice?
Because there's a
Friction with the ground. The ground make friction force. Is it in the same direction of the movement or in opposite direction? Very good. It is in opposite direction. It is in opposite direction. So if you push a chair or a table in this direction, the moving in this direction, and the friction will be in what direction? The friction will be in the opposite direction. Very good, my son. So the friction, increase the motion or decrease the motion? Decrease the motion. The friction is decrease the motion, slow down the motion. Why the friction slow down the motion? Because it is in opposite direction. Okay? What's meant by friction now? I need somebody to tell me what's meant by friction. Omar Abu Arab. What's meant by friction? Friction is a force arises between two touching surfaces. One of them is moving, or two of them are moving. Must be one of them is moving. Okay? So the friction in the same direction of movement or in opposite direction of movement? The friction in the same direction of movement or in opposite direction? Opposite direction. Very good. And the friction slow down the motion or speed up the motion? The friction slow down the motion because it is in opposite direction. The friction moving object? Yes, the friction can stop the moving object. Okay, so the friction in opposite direction, the friction slow down the motion, the friction may cause the stopping of moving object. If you are, I will ask you a question. Ahmed Muhammad Shawki, are you ready? I will ask you a question. If you are riding a bike, if you are riding a bike and you always pedaling, you know pedaling by your legs, okay? And just you stop pedaling. What happened to the bike after some time? The bike will stop. The speed of the bike. What happened to the speed of the bike? Increase or decrease? The speed of the bike decrease. Until what? The speed of the bike increase or decrease? Until it stops. Why it stopped? What slowed down the motion? And why it stopped?
It stopped because the force of friction.
Friction with what? With the ground. The friction with what?
Yeah.
With the ground. Can you explain it again? What happens if you stop pedaling? If you are riding a bike?
The bike will stop.
Slow down. The bike slow down, then it stop. Yes. Why?
Because I stopped pedaling.
Yeah, no force of pushing, no pushing force, no pushing force of your legs. So there is only friction force, and the friction force in the same direction of moving or in opposite direction. Very good. Ahmad Mustafa, can you explain it? Can you explain it again, Ahmad Mustafa? Why, when you are riding a bike and they stop pedaling, the bike stop after some time? Why? Ahmed, are you ready?
Teacher?
Yes, Ahmed. Can you explain why, when you are pedaling on a bicycle, and you stop pedaling, the bike stop after some time? Why? Can you explain why?
Because I slow down or stop moving.
You stop the moving, or the friction force with the ground stop the moving?
The reflection.
The friction with the ground caused the slowdown of the moving bike and this finally stopped the moving bike. Muhammad al-Shah, can you explain it again?
Yes, teacher.
Can you explain why when you are riding a bike and you stop pedaling, why the bike slow down and stop?
Because the friction force stop it.
Ah, very good, my son. Ahmed Ati. Again, can you explain it again?
Yeah.
What
Yes.
happened when you stop pedaling?
What?
What happened when you stop pedaling on a bike?
Yeah.
Muhammad,
Yes.
didn't you understand it? Adam. Yes, Adam. What happened when you stop pedaling?
When the slow down,
Why?
by
By friction force. And the friction force is the same direction of motion or in opposite direction of motion? Excellent, my son. Thank you. Yes, Adam. Yes, Adam. Yes. What? Fall down? When you stop, it may fall down, yes. But you can quickly drop yourself away from the bike.
I do that.
Okay. Let's solve some questions, ya shabab. We have in the book some questions. I need somebody to read first. I need Yasin to read. I need you to read Yasin, okay?
I raised my hand. Can I say?
Yasin, Faddal, can you read?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, let's consider the effect of balanced and unbalanced force in more detail. Huh? Can you read?
Yes, I can. A book lying on a table is being pulled down by gravity, pushed up by the force the table exerts.
When you put the book on the table, the book doesn't move. Why? There is two forces. One force down, which is a pulling force of gravity, and another force up, push up of the table. The table push it up, okay? So there is a balanced force. There is a balanced force on the book. If you have here a table like this, if you have a table like this, okay? If you have a table like this, okay? And you put a book on the table. You put what on the table? A book on the table, okay? Does the book move or not move? Not move. Why?
What?
There is a pulling force of the gravity and there is a pushing force by the table. The two forces are balanced. The two forces are balanced. So the book still in its place doesn't move because the forces are balanced. The forces are balanced. Is it okay? Okay. Very good, my son. Thank you. I need another student. I need another student. What's your name?
Me, please.
Ahmed Atiya. تفضل يا أحمد يا عطية.
Okay.
Muhammad Ahmed, okay? Continue reading.
Okay. When the force on an object are unbalanced, the object could start moving. Move faster or slower. Or change direction if force cause motion.
طيب.
How does
So,
an object
excellent.
motion stop?
Thank you, my son. Thank you, my son. So now, شباب, when you see that book on the table doesn't change, you say that the force on it is balanced. The force is a balanced. But if the table is not horizontal, if the table is not horizontal, you know the meaning of not horizontal, the table is like this. The table is like this, and you put the book, yeah, you put the book on the table like this. Okay, the book here. Okay, does the book still here or it will slide down? The book will slide down. Why? Because the forces are not a balancing. The forces are not a balancing. The book now slide down on the inclined surface. Here we have an inclined surface. The book slide down because the forces are unbalanced. The force is unbalanced. But here on the table, the horizontal table, the forces are balanced. The forces are balanced. So the book stays in its place without any motion. Okay, my son. Muhammad Mustafa, now your turn, Muhammad Mustafa. Are you ready?
Yes.
Read.
Moving objects only stop when a force of the same size is applied to them in the opposite direction from which they are moving. Sometimes it is easy to...
Suddenly, if the car is moving, of course, it moves in a high speed. Of course, it moves in a high speed. By what force? The pushing force of the motor. The pushing force of the engine or the motor, okay? But suddenly, if it crashes a wall, the wall acts by another force in opposite direction. So the car stops suddenly. The car stops suddenly. Sometimes it is easy to observe where is the force that stops the object comes from. You can see the force come from what? Come from the wall. The other force come from the what? Come from the wall. If the car crashes into a wall, it may stop. The wall applied a force to the car. The wall applied a force to the car. The wall also has a force. The wall also has a force. Okay, so the car has a force. Okay, and the wall also has a force. When the two forces are equal, they become a balanced force, and the car stops suddenly. The car stops suddenly. Time. I need Ahmed Mustafa to continue. Ahmed Mustafa, are you ready?
Yes.
Continue reading.
But why does the same car roll slowly to a stop if it runs out of gas on a level road? In this case, the car is being slowed down by a force called friction. You have
Friction force. Do you know about the friction force? Is it a force in the same direction of the motion or in opposite direction?
in opposite
direction. It causes the stopping on the moving object.
What?
Does it cause the speeding of the moving object or stopping the moving object?
Stopping the moving object.
Very good. Continue.
You have probably
Probably heard of a friction. Did you hear about friction before?
Friction. Friction is a force that is exerted when objects rub against each other.
Yeah.
Reflection is a force that opposite motion in the course of the car. This is called when it's dry.
The tire rub on the road. The tire rub on the road. If you are moving by a car and the fuel finish, what will happen to the car, Ya Omar? The car will stop. Why the car will stop? There is no fuel and there is a force of friction between the tire in opposite direction, between the tire and the ground. The friction between the tire and the ground, and the friction is a force against the motion. The friction always against the motion. The motion in this direction and the friction in opposite direction. So after some time, the car will stop. This will be our homework, ya shabab. Is it okay? This will be your homework, inshallah. Is it easy? We'll read it now. Read it, Omar.
When a car runs into a wall,
What happened? Make a claim, يعني explain. Did you understand what happened? Did you understand what happened when a car crashes a wall? Explain it, okay? Explain what happened when the car crashes into a wall. Why the car stopped suddenly?
Mr. Did we finish?
The wall exerts another force.
Mr. Did we finish?
Yes, my son. I will finish the session now. Thank you, everybody. Assalamu alaikum.